Hi, guys. Hi, guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're gonna be reviewing the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour full coverage foundation. So if you want to see my thoughts on it, whether I recommend it or not, stay tuned. Okay, so I'm gonna try to keep this review short, sweet, and straight to the point. So, Maybelline Superstay foundation. I absolutely love this foundation. This is my holy grail foundation. Like, I didn't even know what full coverage was until I got my hands on this one. So right now I'm just gonna go through the website and like read the claims of the Maybelline website so I can either approve or disapprove those claims. I'm gonna tell you why I disapprove them in my case. So this foundation has 16 shades, the lightest being porcelain in 102 and the darkest being truffle in 362. After that, it pretty much tells you that it is a high pigment formula, which is it's very pigmented as well as very creamy. It's actually and thick. Compared to the Maybelline Fit Me, this one, like, you literally just put a dollop and the dollop does not move like whatsoever. That's how thick it is. It actually has the same amount of product as the Maybelline Fit Me, but I'm guessing because this one's more full coverage, it's a bit more pricier. Actually, let's read everything from the back of the bottle, because the back of the bottle has everything like bullet pointed it. So it is a matte finish, although in my opinion, I mean, that's what the bottle says, that it's a matte finish, but in my opinion, it's like matte, but not matte to the point that you can't just wear the foundation. Like, on me personally, it gets oily around this area, but that has happened to me with every foundation that I've tried. I'm still waiting on the foundation that it does not happen to me, or the technique that controls the oil on my nose. On my nose, it's just here. That's it. That's the only place I get oily. So the next one is breathable and comfortable. This foundation actually makes you forget that you're wearing foundation. That's how lightweight it is. Like, that's how most of it transfers on me, because of the fact that I just touch my face, I lean on my cheek and whatnot, and then I have foundation all over my hands, and it's just like, why you do that to me? Why? But that's how lightweight it is. The next point is that is fade and transfer resistant. It doesn't fade, but on me it does transfer, because of the fact that I probably am not using it, like setting it correctly, so it doesn't transfer. I'm not sure how you're supposed to use it so it doesn't transfer. Like, I have all my foundations that I've worn actually transferred, so I'm not sure if there's just like a trick to it that I don't know about and y'all holding out on me, but that's my issue. It does transfer on me. Oil free and does not clog pores. So I have a very heavy poremented. Is that a word? Poremented. I have a very high porous area. Hope that's a word too, because then I'm gonna sound like a dumbass. This area right here of my face, it has a lot of pores on it. Not sure why. It's just that area, and literally it covers my pores. Like, as long as I use a pore filling primer, like this one right here, like this is the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer, or the mattifying primer by NXN Beauty, it covers up everything. Like, you wouldn't even think I have pores. Like, when I take my makeup, like, I'd be a whole in full catfish mode with this. Like, you can't see these acne scars, you can't even see anything. But the acne scars, I do color correct using the LA Girl Pro concealer in my defense, and in the foundation's defense, so that also might be it. Dermatologist tested. That is the last point on the bottle. Let's check if we missed any points on the website. So this foundation says 24-hour. I'm assuming someone at Maybelline probably tried it for 24 hours, which is why they can make that claim. But me personally, I've only worn the foundation 18 to 24 hours max, I think. I think I took it off. Like, I think the latest I've actually lasted with it is really close to 20 hours, maybe. I think it was because I was out that weekend and I just didn't feel like taking it off until like later on. So this foundation lasted very close to 24 hours. I believe that there are a couple of YouTubers that actually went with it and tried the foundation for 24 hours. And if I find those videos, I'm going to link them down below for you so you can see how it actually goes for 24 hours. But I think this is the only drugstore foundation that has been this full coverage. Like, I've never seen any full coverage foundation that actually delivers full coverage. Like, I didn't even know what full coverage was until this was like, I thought Maybelline Fit Me was full coverage until this. This is full coverage. It brings a pump too, by the way. I think that's one of the things that Maybelline got the most complaints about when it comes to Maybelline Fit Me, that it didn't have the pump. So I guess they made sure they added a pump to this one. The packaging, I think it's very pretty and very sleek. This is obviously, it has a little tab on it, so like when you open it, it kind of rips. I'm not too crazy about how the pump is actually set up, because like you somehow end up getting, my little pump is like sticking out because I had to take it out to clean it, because of the fact that you actually somehow end up getting foundation all over this if like you don't put it like at the correct angle to pump it. So that I'm not too crazy about. I feel like it could have been more like, this could have been thinner, and like this can be more rounded instead of square. But I guess that kind of ties in with all their other two foundations. They're square packaging as opposed to like more rounded. So that's, I think that's where that fits in. What does it say? This foundation has a retail life of 12 months. It brings 1 ounce for $11.99 and is a silicone-based foundation. Therefore, you have to use a silicone-based primer unless you want your makeup to separate. If you want your foundation to separate, then go use water-based primer. But if you want your foundation to stay on as long as possible without separating or anything of that sort, use a silicone-based foundation. It's like oil and vinegar. They don't mix. It's oil and vinegar? Yeah, oil and vinegar, oil and water, they don't mix. So make sure you use a silicone-based primer for this. I just wanted to jump on here real quick and show you the side-by-side swatches of all my foundations. The first one next to my hand is the Maybelline Superstay in 355 Coconut. As you can see, the edges that are drying down already kind of oxidize a little bit, but I personally don't mind that. So I just thought you guys should know that. Before I bid you farewell, I just wanted to make note that I put on this foundation exactly the same way as I put on all my foundations. I have a foundation routine video on my channel that I will link down below, just in case you're curious to see on how I put them on. So just in closing, as I said, this is my Holy Grail foundation. Absolutely love it. I will definitely be purchasing another one of these as soon as this goes empty, maybe even before that. I really strongly hope that Maybelline is going to be extending this foundation line, because I feel like a lot of people would benefit from a full coverage drugstore full coverage foundation, because usually your full coverage foundations are more high-end luxury brands. And let's face it, some people don't have money to be spending on a $45 to $60 foundation. Like, I barely have money for that. So no. So Maybelline, just step it up. More colors. You already extended the Maybelline matte and poreless line, so just extend these bad boys.